isn't with me. I want you to be happy, so I'll set you free. I want you to be happy. One day I hope you'll see, real love needs no lock and key. I want you to be happy. It isn't love if you are free. No matter where you run, no matter where you hide, no matter what you've done, my love for you will still abide. You remain my only one. I'll keep a place for you by my side. I don't want you to walk away, but I won't force you to stay. I'd rather you be happy, I'd rather you be free, even if it's without me.
Overcame technical difficulties. Overcame getting a child home. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It has been crazy tonight. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And normally I try not to be late for anything, let alone my own stream. But sometimes you have no control. Tonight was one of those nights. So we got our globe painted. Woo! We are ready to finish off our Technosavior. Get him going and glowing. He's beautiful. Well, in that terrifically horrible sense. I do not recommend 0 stars, yeah. As you I think I've talked about the theme behind this guy and why I'm working on him. So I won't bore you with those details. See what happened to my toolbar. Ah, there it is. Hiding? Yes, it was hiding. Okay, cool. Now we got everything up front. Man. It has just been something tonight. Just one thing after another. Alright. I think we were working on smoothing out this area. Oh, you know what would help? Yeah. So if I click on the right layer, you can't really smooth things out when you're in the wrong layer. There we go. Just give him some more texturing. Especially because he's all silicone on that side. Yuckies. And then time to work on that body a little. We're bodybuilding tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Not really. You do not even want to see this girl try to bodybuild. Ha 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 ha. Alright, let's work on his human arm. Yes, embracing the suck is indeed what we are doing tonight. We are embracing it hardcore, giving it a bear hug, if you will. And saying, you know what? We're going to do this anyway. Because who needs regularity in your life? Who needs schedules? Right? Schedules. They're just an idea. A concept. No need to get suckered into them. Hey, Vinny. Good to see you, man. Your playing was awesome the other day. It was really a treat to sit in there and listen to you. I did give you a tweet. Give your stream a tweet the other day. Thanks for playing. It's nice to connect a face to a name sometimes. Trying to make sure I give as much love to y'all as y'all have given to me. Not always on the ball, but I do try. Because I will tell you, I have very, very few communities on YouTube, or on the internet, anywhere really, that are as friendly and as encouraging and as welcoming as the guitar community, and it is truly YouTube's best kept secret. Which I need to work on changing, because that should not be a secret. People should know where they can go to find awesome people. Yeah, it's actually a bull. 10 a.m. and cloudy. Your cubicle's away from the window. Yeah, you know, actually that's the point at which you bring your own window. You know, create a window. Literally get yourself a picture frame and paint it. We actually, this was the hilarious thing. Back when I was living in Elko, which is a really small town that if you've never heard, I will forgive you because nobody's ever heard of it except the people who live there. And we only lived there because Randy got a radio job there. So I belonged to their art club. And we had just gotten ourselves a new art gallery. And the bathroom was, you know, a typical bathroom, but no artistry, nothing beautiful about it. So we each decided to create a piece for the bathroom. And what I created for it was literally an image that looked like a window with a bird looking in through the window. Now, somebody else created a Mona Lisa with googly eyes, and I'm sorry, but that's just creepy. That's the last thing I want to be seeing in my bathroom is Mona Lisa with googly eyes staring at you while you're going to the bathroom. It's kind of like there's some pieces of artwork that just don't belong in a bathroom, in my personal opinion, but, you know, what do I know? And pieces of artwork that drive you crazy. One of the things that happened while I was living there was kind of funny. There's this guy who commissioned a piece of artwork from me because he liked this one piece that I'd done, and I was so proud of myself he commissioned it. And then he told me, "Can you write the words 'Who cut one' on it?" I was like, oh my gosh. Talk about feeling like a total sellout. Ugh. It's like, yeah, sure, whatever, dude. Fine art brought to you by me. That was the best I could do. Yep. I'm actually getting started on a project where I'm going to be selling art as wallpaper for people who live in like apartments, and you can't really nail holes and stuff without the landlords getting all pissy and everything. But you also want to decorate your apartment, and you want to kind of customize it and make it look good. So I'm going to start putting more of my artwork on that peel and stick wallpaper, so that people who would like to have art in their home but do not want to destroy and or damage the walls have options. I was thinking about actually also creating peel and stick frames that people could use to hold up their pictures that already exist, so it looks kind of framed and matted and everything, which I think would be really awesome. I'm full of it. You know, I was born with the initials BS, so I'm full of it. I'm full of ideas, you know, but mostly just full of it. Don't mind me. I'm a walking joke. Yeah, I was literally born with the initials BS, and I married into the initials BM, which is a slight upgrade, a little bit classier, mind you. Same stuff, just a little classier. Um, when it's peel and stick, it's literally designed to stick to the wall, but to be thick enough, to be adhesive enough to stick to the wall, but able to be removed when you're ready. So I was able to, I mean, it's a pretty good coherent stick because I had to like use a penknife to get under the edge to get the peel, to get it to peel back up. But so it'll stick really well, but it's also going to be something that you can remove when it's time to leave without damaging the walls or whatever. Which is one of the reasons why I'm like, this would be so awesome. Yeah, I love to put custom wall. I've always wanted to decorate my spaces and make them custom, but I've never owned a place of my own, so I'm always hesitant because, you know, damage, people hate that. I can understand. If I were a landlord, I wouldn't want you damaging my property either. But yeah, I hate bare walls. So I do have some artwork up in my place right now, and I've mainly used those little gadgets that with the hooks. I'm so totally not paying attention to what I'm doing. Anyway, I used the like the 3M hook gadgets that you can get at the hardware store, and that's been what I've been using for. Oh, I see what's going on. I put this on the wrong layer, and it's underneath the earth layer, and so it wasn't appearing properly. I think I need to fix this. I shouldn't be doing the upper arm and the lower arm on the same layer anyway, so we'll just go ahead and bloop that right out. And I shouldn't be doing the hand on the same layer as the lower arm, because at some point in time I might want to adjust those things in different ways. And I won't be able to do that if I don't have them on separate layers. Alright, so let's make sure we have the earth. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. B. There's our lower arm. Boop. And then I gotta have my hand over the lower arm. Yeah, it is, you can buy custom, you can buy the vinyl wallpaper, just blank vinyl wallpaper, and paint directly on it, for like $7 for an entire roll of really thin black or white vinyl, which is what I used for, doing some of that grow artwork. And it'll also work for the walls. Now, I will say this. You're gonna have to kind of fight it a little bit to get the vibrancy if you use the black wallpaper that you might like. It might help to start with a gray background, you know, blocking out the area where you want objects to be with like a light gray, and then putting in the color. Yeah. Because it was not especially easy to get the actual artwork to show up the way I wanted it to. If you're wondering what he's holding, that is the globe. Because he thinks he's got the power over all the people on the globe. You know. Because that's what Technosaviors do. Not that there's a lot of them out there for you to have experience with this, but yeah, at least in the world that I'm creating. Yeah, I know. When it comes to comics, which artists influence the most? Anime. Japanese animation is totally my jam. And, Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, Inuyasha. I've watched every single episode that has been put out. I even watched a bit of the sequel, but I didn't really care for that. I think it lost the threads of the story, at least the parts of it that I was really interested in. And I think one of the reasons that I liked Inuyasha so much was because it's kind of how my relationship with Ubi rather, is how it started out when we were teenagers, in some senses. So it kind of resonated with me for that reason. And to this day, I still enjoy watching it, although I now see it for the completely incredible, messy, not really healthy romance that it actually is. Whereas that would not have been something I would have spotted as a younger version of me. Randy and I didn't exactly start off as a healthy couple, relationship-wise. In fact, I will be the first to tell anybody, that we shouldn't have worked as a couple. We should have either killed each other or broken up a long time ago. We did everything humanly possible to destroy our relationship, and God did everything divinely possible to keep it together. Yeah. The Ranma series? Yeah. I've heard about that series. I haven't actually divin? No. I haven't dived into it. Ugh, I have made a mess of those fingers. The nice thing is that it's on a separate layer, so if I erase things, it's not going to muck with the globe below it. And that is exactly why we put our artwork on separate layers. So when we mess things up, it is an easy fix and does not destroy everything we've done. Just the part that needs to get lost. Okay, let's try this hand again. Take it from the top. But yeah, Clanad, there's a lot of anime that I really have enjoyed. We've watched Bastard, which is kind of an obscure series. I don't know very many people who have ever heard of it or even know about it, but it was hilarious, so I've been into anime, I guess, since I was in 2nd grade, and my sister and brother and I would watch Battlestar, not Battlestar Galactica, but it was basically, it was a series about Earth being attacked and having to go into battle against numerous opposition forces. And I'm not remembering the name of it off the top of my head, but I know that I will momentarily. And, I remember in particular, I was particularly caught up with that show as a kid. And then, of course, we got introduced to other animes. And I had a long, long history of loving anime. I think that's really when I first wanted to learn to draw professionally. And then, of course, games are the thing that actually got me to go to art school, was wanting to become a game art, actually a game developer, but art was the only thing that my company would pay for, because of graphic design. So that's how I got on that track. And I also didn't think I was good enough at math to be able to program, which meant I would have to sort of settle for the art side of the equation rather than the actual development side. And yeah, it did strand in the middle of nowhere. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. It was a very compelling series though. I liked it a lot, and then it just sort of abruptly ended. No idea why, just it just did. Um so there was that. Some series are like that, you know. I imagine art doing that professionally is a lot like for being a writer, you know, you sometimes you hit that wall with a project and it's just like I don't even know where I'm going with this. And you don't know how to get off the wall, so the project just sort of stalls out. Or maybe it was a funding issue and maybe he just couldn't get enough backing. I don't know. It was a really awesome series though. Really liked the character. That is one thing I love about anime. There is always, always a sense of character development. You don't have empty plot lines the way you often do with American cartoons. Yeah, yeah. I really enjoyed it and would definitely watch it again.
Only if we find that dub.
Yeah, if we could find that dub. Yeah.
I watched the official dub, and I'm like, ew, this is not good.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I have been an anime fan since childhood, so you could say it's kind of in my wheelhouse, my DNA, so to speak. Oh. Definitely. Yeah, I'm not like I wouldn't call myself a weeb. I'm not like married to it or, you know, whatever. And I don't have anything against those who are. Yeah, but no, I used to know this girl who was so good at comic drawing, and she never really went anywhere with her art, which was kind of sad to me. I kept encouraging her. She'd spent 9 years developing these characters, entire plot lines and threads, and she just went nowhere with them, which was kind of sad to me. I was like, hey, you really need to finish this. She's like, yeah, I get that, but I don't know where I'm going with it. So I think it was more of a situation. She was a bit insecure about her art talents, even though she didn't have any reason to be. She was so good. She could easily have competed with any of the pros. But that's the thing about art of any kind, whether you're writing or drawing or whatever you're doing. If you lack the courage to put it out there, you will never get to find out how good or how bad you actually are. And you won't have any incentive to improve. That is something that other people do for you that you cannot do for yourself. Is give yourself that incentive to get better. When I get criticized, and I do, you know, it's not time to quit. It is time to say, okay, how valid is the criticism? What are they telling me that I could improve? And if it's just a mean-spirited comment like, hey, fatty, okay, well, I just recognize, all right, this is the best that person could give me. It's out of the mouths of the people's heart they speak, and that person apparently has a craptacular heart, so that's the best gift they can give me. But every comment, every bit of feedback, if you actually inspire somebody to talk about your art in any way, you have done your job. Because that's the point of art, is to spark conversation, to essentially communicate. It's a visual storytelling medium. I don't think people appreciate story enough, largely because I think most people relegate story to being just words. When in point of fact, every piece of artistic medium is telling a story. It's not just art. It's not just words on a page. It's art, it's music, it's dance, it's what are you trying to say and why does it matter is the question to ask. You also had an American Panda, but yeah. Oh no, that's you, Ubi, of course. But yeah, so anyway, that's my little rant about art is you can't get better if you don't put yourself out there. And a lot of people never do. They're so worried about somebody else coming along and taking what they've got. Well, it's probably never been a more valid concern than now with AI. But at the same time, people can only take who you were yesterday and run with it. They can't take who you are or who you're becoming, because those things haven't manifested themselves yet. And if you hide your talents out of fear that somebody else is going to steal them, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're doing a disservice to the world that may need what you've got. And I don't think you're doing anybody any favors. I mean, I get that fear, though. I do get the fear. I get the concern that somebody's going to come and steal what you've worked so hard to create and build. But the bottom line is that you will continuously improve only if you get out there, share what you've got, and strive to create better today than you did yesterday. As one of my art teachers would say, don't be afraid to create today's present best. It may not be as good as you can ever do. It may not be as good as you want it to do, but today it is your present best. One Punch Man. I haven't actually seen that. I'll have to go check that out. But yeah. I mean, it's really about the effort to communicate an idea. How well do you do that? Can you communicate the idea? It doesn't have to be great to communicate what's in your head, and that's use it as a visual launch pad. Use it as a place to start sharing your story. It doesn't have to be the place you end the story, but use it as a place to start. And embrace the suck of where you are so you can get better tomorrow. I mean, Ubi has embraced the suck for an entire year now, and I guarantee you he is 100% better than he was when he started. And it's not that he was bad when he started, but he has gotten better in part because of all the feedback he's gotten. Both encouraging kinds and kinds that tell him, hey, this is an area you can improve, and maybe even feedback about how to do it. I have a book out there that I wrote called I Wish I Could Draw Like That. And I wrote it for all the people who would look at my work and say, oh, I wish I could draw like that. And I'm like, well, you can, but how many hours are you willing to devote to learning? To trying, to failing? How much money are you willing to invest in classes, in memberships to art clubs that help you get better? How much are you willing to risk putting your work out there and letting other people possibly tear it to pieces? Or tell you, oh, I love that, but they aren't willing to pay for it. So you spend hours trying to struggle to figure out what it is you're doing, what it is you're missing about the equation that would cause them to say, I gotta take that home with me today. And, getting to that place where you really understand your medium and you really get what it is you need to do to improve, what you can do to make yourself not just stand out from the rest, but be so unique and so inviting that people just can't help but want to grab what you've got, because it really speaks to them where they're at in life or in their current situation, or motivates or inspires them or in some way touches them. I think that was some of it with my earlier work, was that I didn't have a lot of emotional content infused into my work. It was nice, it was pretty, but it wasn't touching. People don't pay for nice and pretty. They pay for results. They pay for impact. The same thing is true about music, really. They pay when it touches their heart and leaves an imprint on their soul. When it speaks in ways that they couldn't speak otherwise. Didn't even know they needed the words, and you provided those words to them. That's when it really hits them and really starts to make them want to put it on repeat and pay for it. And or take it home with them from the art fair, because they just don't feel like they can leave it behind. I guess what I'm saying is basically the goal of every artist should be to make you fall in love with the work. Because when you fall in love with something, you're not going to leave it behind. You're going to do what it takes to bring it home with you. Alright. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I just really appreciate the time you're giving me. I hope that you're enjoying yourself and that you're getting to just chill out, relax, maybe unwind from a day, or maybe get ready to really get into your day, whichever happens to work for you. Alright. I am going to continue streaming for probably about another 10 minutes here, and then I will drop out, eat a little, because I didn't get a chance to eat because of the way things worked out today. And then we will pop in for Booby's stream and all hang out together for him. Hey, Cal! Every expression is art. Art is now free as technology has made it so much easier to communicate. I give all my stuff away as money's not my goal. Money's not my goal either, Cal. Money's definitely not my goal. Money does sometimes keep a roof over my head, but also, here's the thing that I learned about money. And this is why I do keep track of what people are willing to part with and what they aren't. Money is a tool, and what it's designed to represent are two things. First, the amount of trust you've earned that you can deliver a result that somebody else desires. And then second, the amount of commitment that person has to getting that result. People don't commit until they're confident you can deliver, and they don't commit if they don't have any interest in getting the results. So like, for instance, let's say that you're the greatest dentist in the world. You are world renowned. You can pull out teeth like nobody's business and make people thank you for it. But you meet somebody who doesn't have the need for a tooth pulled. They're not going to pay you a dime for your services. They're not even going to entertain your services. Why? Because they don't need them. And the pain of paying you for what you do would be greater than the pain they're experiencing right now. And once you understand what money actually is and what it actually represents, life gets a lot easier. Because then you enter the realm of being able to trade for what you need. You're eating boneless chicken wings? That sounds awesome. Yeah, you didn't eat either. Well, I'll try to see if I can't scrounge us both up something when I get off stream here. Something that maybe can fill us. Oop, oop. Yeah. Yeah. Will alcohol be involved? Well, that all depends. That all depends. Why are you not? Oh, because I'm still on the smudge tool. Man, I need to stop that. Every once in a while, I kind of forget that I'm on the smudge tool, and then I try to paint with the smudge tool, and that's not what the tool is for.
Well,
Yep, Eddie.
sure you don't want me to just toss the stand? It's kind of thin.
Yeah, you can toss it. It's fine.
Falling apart. I don't know if you'd be able to cook it.
I'll cook my temper. All right. Your supper is the early bird special? Yeah. Well, I'm not that young, actually. In fact, in just 12 days from now, I will be 50. True facts. I didn't expect to get to there, but here I am. Doesn't feel like I should be here, but here I am. My baby boy, whom I gave birth to 2 weeks before my 20th birthday, is 30. Somehow that doesn't seem real either. But there it is. Facts are facts. We don't get to argue with the facts, we just get to live with the facts. Alright. I think that's enough work on that arm. I think I'm okay with where it's at. I may do some additional smoothing out later, but I think we're okay with that. Ah. Yeah, the senior special pricing is amazing. But I will tell you one thing I'm not a big fan of is all these stupid 55 only community, 55 and up only communities. It just seems like, why? Why would you build that garbage? I wouldn't want to live there. I mean, I'm not everybody, so there's that, but at the same time, geez. It means you can't have grandkids living with you, you can't have children living with you, you can't have any fun? Psh. No thank you. If I want a 55 and over community that quiet, I'll just go live in the cemetery. Seems like it'd be about as much fun. Actually, you know the funny thing? True story. There was a time where Ubi and I lived right across from the cemetery. Very quiet neighbors. Never caused any disturbances. True facts. I'm sure some people will tell you those cemeteries are haunted, but this one wasn't. Or if it was, I'm just immune to that. They're just like, oh no, we don't want to mess with her. We'll just leave her alone. Like, okay, go find somebody else to haunt, I guess. Pretty sure I have never encountered a ghost in my entire life. That doesn't mean that I don't believe that they're real. I believe in listening to people, and I've heard enough people say they've encountered them to believe that there's definitely something to it. I'm just going to tell you what I have never experienced, and that is I have never experienced a genuine ghost. I have experienced some supernatural things in my lifetime, but never a genuine ghost. I'm not the kind of person who tends to dismiss people's experiences just because I haven't shared them. I recognize that other people have had their own experiences. Oh, no worries. What have you been on the phone for? Hope something good. I know there's been a lot going on in your life right now, Timmy. So I'm hoping whatever it is a good thing and not more bad news. Well, if it's dark and people hear noise, fear paints a picture. Well, that is true. There is definitely truth to that, Cal. But I also do believe people, because they've had definitive experiences that aren't just bump in the night type thing. You know, I mean, like one lady I knew, she lived in a place her toddler did not want to sleep in the room that she had assigned to him, and she couldn't understand it for the longest time. Then one night, you know, she walked in and he was uncovered, like there was no blanket on him, even though she'd put a blanket on him when put him in bed. She walks into the room, she basically adjusts the cover, makes sure it's back over the top of him, walks out of the room, hears a very loud, weird noise that there was no open window, there was nothing, and she walks back in their room, and the blanket's yanked off that child again and tossed to the side. So she was like, yeah, I didn't let my kid sleep in that room after that. He was freaking out about it anyway, so. And I do believe kids can see things we can't. Kids, like animals, have a sense for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with 3 minutes to go, we are going to call a pause for tonight. I do thank you guys for being here. I am Chatty Cathy tonight. I apologize for being late. Hopefully that won't happen again, but I did have to pick up the grandkid and get her home. She is the bestest granddaughter ever, so I'm glad to be able to do those things for her. But yeah, this is where we're at with our Technosavior. He's looking more and more complete. We'll try to get that chest finished up. And yes, Ubi's Live will be in about 17 minutes. So we're going to try and get some food. Oh, thank you, Timmy. Yeah, the guitar turned out better than I hoped it would even. It's definitely been a learning process on that guitar. So anybody who's watching this VOD, if you have not seen my series, Fixing a Broken Guitar, I think is what I called it, go watch that. It's a very interesting process from beginning to end, and it's been definitely a journey of learning and experiencing things that I had never tried before. So, and I thank you guys for joining me on that journey. Now, I will be setting up the links for writing and chatting In the relative near, and I'll have those up probably tonight sometime. But, thank you guys for joining me. I do appreciate the time and the attention that you give me, and I am going to stop streaming now and stop talking so that I can get something food-wise in me. And see you guys in the stream. Ubi stream, he put the link up there fairly soon. I know you're trying to keep up, and Timmy, if you can't, don't push yourself. Don't make yourself sick trying to keep up with all of us, okay? You've already got enough struggles as it is. Don't make them work for yourself.